All right, so this is U.S. History Trimester 3, U.S. History C. My name is Mr. Wackels. You can see my information up on the screen there. Your Google Meet links, if you are not comfortable coming to school yet, or if you will not be coming to school once we get into full, out of the hybrid version, the Google Meets will be open for you to check in and ask questions during the class hour. You could also check in there for attendance purposes. But a majority of what I'll be looking at is analytics in Schoology to see that you've completed assignments. If you need assistance, these videos will be posted weekly to kind of tell you what we're doing that week, but obviously they will not be as thorough as if you were in class. All right, so for week 1, when you go into this folder, you will see, again, a link for our digital classroom and Google Meets. This will be where your weekly checklist is. And then if we go into week 1, this is what we're going to be looking at today. So we're going to start off looking at World War I. If you have not been in this class before, I do follow kind of a similar day 1, day 2, and then distance learning assignment. So day 1 this week will be World War I vocabulary. This is a formative assignment where you do a vocabulary, writing the definition, finding an image and a sentence that represents each term. When you click on this assignment, one thing to note is that all of these terms will be able to be found on this Quizlet, and the terms that you're going to be defining are on this image. And so if you go down the side here, these are the ones you're going to look up on the Quizlet. That's not all on the Quizlet. The words on the Quizlet, all of those will eventually be part of a summative. So you want to make sure that even though I'm just kind of asking you for some of them and I'm quizzing you on them, you're going to want to go through all of them. On the second day of class, whether it is 6th, 5th, or 3rd hour and you're an A or B student, so day 2 would mean that's what we're doing on that second day. So if you're not here, this is your distance assignment. The last part of this then is a summative. So this discussion is pretty straightforward. You go in, you can take the video to help you basically explain what the 4 factors, or what is called main, were that led to the start of the First World War and the United States involvement in that eventually. And then the second part is a Google Doc assignment. Again, I'll talk about this in class for the A days, and then I'll also kind of discuss it again for the B days in case you didn't access it or if you had some questions about it. But basically for this assignment, it is a summative. You are going to go into this Google Doc, and when you go in here, it's going to be kind of a guided summative. So you're going to have questions that you're going to have to answer, and the grade will follow the kind of color code of what you're working on. So it says up here to score a 3, which means really the only grade you can get on this is a 3 or a 4, because if you do all the parts for what a 3 is, which is all of this that's in the yellow, that's what you score as long as you answer them. And then if you do the yellow and the green, you get a 4. And so the green part is basically just to take the information that you've done in the yellow and you put it together to write a research question. And we'll talk a little bit about what that means and when you have to do that. And then the thesis is basically your answer to that research question in one statement, and then details will kind of further some of the ideas of like your notes. So you're going to have to kind of go back and pick out the most important things. And we'll talk a little bit more about this in class, but this is a pretty guided assignment. You have something that you can look back up to, this video and this article, which actually were from the 2 formative assignments. So if you do end up just kind of going in and start working on this summative, what we're doing in class for the formative things are intended to kind of set you up for, oh, this is what you should be answering. So again, like I said, typically as long as you fill it all, it's a 3 or a 4. What I will look at, however, is like if people go through and do most of these, that's where I would look at like a 1 or a 2. So the goal is that everybody gets a 3 or a 4, because if you can answer all these things in the yellow section, that would be an automatic 3. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions on anything, if this is new to you as far as being in this class, never being in here before, we can talk a little bit more about that. But it's pretty self-explanatory. And again, these videos are always available weekly for you to go through and kind of figure out, well, what did I miss or what do I need to do? All right. If you have any questions, please email or message me.